The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was a very great man. He was also a very busy man, for it was his great task to guide his people so that they were sure to follow the way of God. There was so much for the Prophet to do, and so much time which he had to spend teaching his people, giving them advice, or making decisions when they came to him for judgment in some dispute. But the Prophet was never too busy to give some of his time to children, to make friends with them, and to show how much he loved them. So even though he was the greatest man his people had ever known, anyone could call upon him for help and advice at any hour of the day. The Prophet always managed to find time to tell stories to children, to give them presents, or simply to talk with them. On some occasions, the Prophet showed great favor towards small children. One of these lucky children was a small boy called Jabir bin Sumra. One day, Jabir went to a mosque where the Prophet was praying and said his prayers with him. The Prophet noticed Jabir. When the prayers were finished and the Prophet left the mosque to go home, he let Jabir accompany him. As they walked through the streets, other children saw them. Very soon a large crowd ran towards the Prophet to join Jabir at his side. They were still a little distance away when the Prophet saw them approaching. He stopped and waited until they had reached him. Children were very pleased. They were even more delighted when the Prophet began chatting and talking to them. Then he kissed them all, one by one. Of course, little Jabir got a kiss too, and like the others, he went off home, a very happy little boy. So it is easy to understand why children loved the blessed Prophet so much. It was because he was so kind and generous to them. This was a wonderful thing, for great and busy men are often far too occupied to bother about spending time with children. It was especially wonderful because the Prophet bore enormous responsibilities. Quite apart from the task of leading his people in everyday life, as you have already learned, the blessed Prophet led them in prayers. He was also their teacher, and as well as teaching them their religion, he taught them good manners and good conduct towards others. Many people came to see the Prophet, and he received delegations or groups of them many times each week. He spent a great number of hours with these visitors and had many long discussions with them about matters which concerned them. So you can see that the blessed Prophet, who was the head of the state, had a great number of things to do. That even included leading his people into battle against their enemies. Here, too, he taught them valuable lessons, showing by his conduct in battle that victory should be followed by mercy towards defeated ones. Yet, despite all he had to do, and all the time that was occupied in these important tasks, the Prophet never failed to greet boys and girls whenever he met them. If the Prophet was returning from a long journey and met children on the way, he would always stop and talk and laugh with them. And he always gave them a big treat by letting them ride with him on his camel. This was why the Prophet could be seen with children sitting in front of him and behind him as his camel plodded along the road towards his home. It was a truly joyous and cheering sight to see.